There's no way the NBA can mess this up, right?
What do you think?
The NBA's MVP award, the most prestigious individual award that a player can win. Winning it cements your name in basketball history forever, and almost certainly lands you in a spot in Springfield, Massachusetts, in the Basketball Hall of Fame. So the voting process for this should be taken with the utmost attention to every single detail, and voters' personal feelings should be left out of this, right?
Hell no.
At the time of this recording, the two leading MVP candidates are Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder and Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. Jokic is not a stranger to this award, as he's won 3 of the past 4 MVPs, and at the moment, he should be the leading candidate to win this year. But the media in Vegas have their sights set on Shai, and I disagree. Now, before I get into the meat of this video,
monetize.
Oh God, that was crazy.
I want to make one thing clear. I do not have an agenda against Shai, nor do I think he should not be an MVP candidate. The point that I will be making in this video is that the media has overrated Shai's odds to win the award, that Jokic is having a better season, and that personal feelings have no place in voting. So let's get into it. This season, Shai is averaging 32 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists, with a block and 2 steals on 64% true shooting. His efforts have helped propel Oklahoma City to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and he is a part of not just the best defense in the league, but statistically the best defense of all time at the time of this recording based on rating. So we have a player leading the league in scoring, playing great ball on the number 1 seeded team in the West that suffocates teams defensively. This is very good. Unfortunately, this is where a supermajority of voters stop thinking. It's a very 1 + 1 = 2 method of thought. And that makes sense for barbershop talk. That makes sense for sports debate shows. But MVP voters need to think more critically. And this is where we get to Nikola Jokic. Jokic is averaging 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists with a little under a block and 2 steals on 66% true shooting. He has led his team to the number 3 seed in the Western Conference and the league's hottest winning streak, where the Nuggets have won their past 8 games in a row and posted wins in 16 of their last 20 games. But it's when we get into the details of Jokic's historic performance that his case for his 4th MVP is made clear. On the surface, when you compare these two players, you can see that Shai averaged more points per game, while Jokic puts up more rebounds and assists. But as is often said, the devil is in the details. When we look deeper into the individual performances, which is what voters should be doing, the scales are very much slide in Jokic's favor. Jokic best Shai in PER, true shooting percentage, offensive win shares, box plus minus, value over replacement player, player impact estimate, and generates more points for his team per game. And with virtually all these categories, if he doesn't lead the league in it, he ranks in the top 4. The man is having a historic season and is outright performing better than Shai. Then you look at the primary area where Shai leads Jokic, which is points per game. Jokic averages only 2 less points on 2 fewer shots and 3 less free throws per game, all on better efficiency. And he even ranks fourth in the entire league in 3-point percentage at 45% on 4 takes per game as a center. Stats advantage, Jokic. Now, these are stats, but what about impact? What about value? Accumulating stats is one thing, but how do you impact winning? How valuable are you on a game-to-game basis? For Shai, he's the best player on his team and has been a major force in leading OKC to the number 1 seed in the West. As the point guard for the Thunder, for a majority of the time he's on the court, the Thunder post a 116 offensive rating, 2 points above league average. But when he's off the court, the Thunder have their offensive rating jump to a 119, 5 points above league average. Now, I'll be fully transparent and state that this is based on a very small sample size, and there are a ton of reasons why this could be. Range from Shai not coming off the court much, to the Thunder being a super talented team, to them blowing teams out early and having their backups handling business, etc. But for Jokic, when he's on the court, the Nuggets post a 122 offensive rating, 8 points above league average. And when he's off the court, Denver's offense plummets to a 105, 9 points below league average. And I will mention his heaviest minutes with the Nuggets' 4 most frequent lineups. Jokic has Denver posting an offensive rating of 127, 13 points above league average. I had spoken earlier about the strength of OKC's defense and how it's currently the highest rated of all time. Shai is an excellent defender and plays a huge role in that. But on a team that has Jalen Williams, Cason Wallace, Lou Dort, and Isaiah Hartenstein, all of which could make all defensive teams, not to mention Alex Caruso coming off the bench and Chet Holmgren when he returns back from injury, 2 more elite defenders. You have 5 to 6 guys who could solidly make all defensive selections. Then you factor in how Shai, Kaysen, and Jalen all rank in the top 5 when it comes to defensive rating, defensive box plus minus, defensive win shares, and all stats related to steals. And it becomes clear that Shai has a little less to do with OKC's elite defense than Jokic does Denver's blistering offense. Value advantage, Jokic. So if we see that Jokic has had the advantage when it comes to stats and measured value, why would Shai still be leading in the MVP polls? It's for 2 reasons. 1, his team is number 1 seed. And 2, the media wants him to win the award. When Jokic won his award last season, there were several prominent members of the media that felt Shai should have won it. And it seems that this year, those same people are attempting to right the perceived wrong they felt was done last year. Now, the number 1 seeded ranking in the West is a solid point. OKC has essentially been the 1 seed the entire season. But I do think there's something to be said about Denver having been a team floating between the 9 and 5 seed for the first 2 months of the season. And then as of January 1st, Denver posted an 18-6 record and jumping to the 3 seed, led by Jokic averaging 28, 12, and 11 with 2 steals and a block on 60-39 splits. So it creates a question, what do you value more? Standing at the top and staying there, or rising from the bottom and climbing your way to the top? I'll close by saying this. At the time of this recording, Denver is a half game behind Memphis for the 2 seed in the West. The Nuggets won't catch OKC for the 1 seed, but if Jokic can get Denver to finish the season occupying the number 2 seed, having crawled their way from the 9 seed, and with having the 3rd toughest remaining schedule in the league to close the season, then the choice becomes obvious. Stats, check. Value metrics, check. Team elevation, check. Voters, please don't make your decision personal. History literally depends on it.